Salutations, lady or gentleman. I've made it to Belgrade. I'm finally here, the last stop on this fucking long ass journey. Starts off as every vlog starts off by like just kind of chaotic. So one of the main reasons I came to Belgrade was, well, cheap flights, but also to go to like this jet museum because I love jets. It's shut until 2027. So that's put a huge dent in my day because I was about to spend like fucking 4 hours there or something. That's not gonna happen. The football's still on, so at least I've got the football to look forward to. So another thing I wanted to do was go see the Danube, just because it's, you know, a cool fucking river. I mean, it's a huge river. I feel like I keep running into like these homosexuals that try to like be very buddy with me. Like there was a guy at the hostel, he's probably just wants to be my mate. Maybe it's just me in my head. But like we only had like a brief exchange. Where are you from? Cool. What are you doing? Blah blah blah. And then he was like, oh, do you want to go grab coffee together? But he didn't say it like that. It was kind of like an order almost. Like it wasn't a question. It wasn't a request. It was like, brother, have a coffee with me. I don't know. So I was like, yeah, I'll let you know, bro. I will not let this brother know. All right, Din Dins has arrived. Now, I know I'm French and I know this in France is not allowed, but I'll permit myself to have this at least once. Food has been scanned. Got really confused with the conversion. I wanted to give this brother a €2 tip. I gave him 20 centimes because I put like the wrong decimal. I'd rather give him nothing than fucking 20 centimes. What the fuck is he gonna do with that? But anyway, check out the market, see what that's saying. Mate, this is cute as fuck. This is super, what's the word? Aesthetic. If I was a female influencer, like big tits and a pretty face, I'd love to take pictures here. Let's go on that, bro. I wish I could tell you guys more about this market. It's probably super famous and it's got a crazy history and it's probably got a name as well. None of that information I actually know. Zdravo. And just Google it. Belgrade Market, I'm here, whatever it's called. Anyway, alright, smaller than I thought. Let's go see the Danube. So I've made it to the park. I've literally crossed all of Belgrade by foot. I've been walking for like 50 minutes. I was walking down this street and some like bald guy with like some sort of wallet or something in his hand was running down the opposite way. And 2 minutes later, there's these two like serious police guys running the same direction as well, and I was at the cross street and they were kind of looking like both ways, and I was like, yo, you guys looking for a bald guy, no hair? And they were like, did you see someone running? I was like, yeah, down there. Fortress. Again, it's probably got a name. It's probably world famous. Fuck, I'm lost. Alright, let's pull out the map. See where I can get a look at this big river. Wow, very nice. Oh shit. Sick. Again, I don't know what kind of plane that is. There's someone tell me in the comment section. And here it is, the mighty Danube. I am way out from the city centre. I don't even know what that bridge is over there, but I think that'll be our destination. As long as I keep heading this way, I'll eventually end up back in city centre. I've walked a lot to get here, but I'd say it's 100% worth it. Do you know what I really need? There we go. Alright, so I just spent fucking 2 hours in the hostel. Again, I just didn't feel like going out or anything. I'm really stressed about tomorrow's flight because it might get cancelled because there's a huge strike in France and I really don't want it to be cancelled. Alright, whatever happens with the flights, I don't care. I've got my pint, I've got the game, win or lose, I don't care. How bad can life get, you know? Alright, cheeky little 5-0 for England. ended up speaking to some guy when he just came like the last 10 minutes of the game, and it was like 4-0. He was like, not a good game. I was like, nah, not really, bro. This is going to be the end of today's video. Actually, or is it? It might not be. Okay, so it turns out I was right. That wasn't the end of this video. This is being filmed like 4 or 5 months after the last clip you just saw. But I want to tell you guys about actually crossing the border from Bosnia into Serbia. Now, I had heard stories about actually crossing in Serbia and how the border officers can be quite tricky. And when I actually got to the border where I was leaving Bosnia, I went through a border office and it turned out fine. I just handed in my passport, got back on the bus, no problem. Took all of 5 minutes. And I realised that, I thought at the time that the Serbia stories were actually all made up. It was all bullshit. Turns out it wasn't. The way it works is there's 2 borders, one to exit Bosnia and then the next one to get into Serbia. So I was filled with confidence when I left Bosnia because I thought that was it, I was done. And then the bus pulled up to the second border office with Serbian flags everywhere, highly armed men. And at that point I was like, okay, I understand what's going on. My phone had no service. There were several people in front of me. So every person in front of me was either Serbian or had been to Serbia before. So he looks through the passport, stamps it, looks at them, asks them 1 or 2 questions. The whole process takes about 2 minutes. He takes my passport, looks at it, sees France, sees I've been to Montenegro, sees I've been to, what was the other one, Albania. Fortunately, I wasn't stamped when I was in Kosovo, because if I had been stamped in Kosovo, I would have actually been in Serbia illegally, because Serbia don't recognise Kosovo. But they still took about 20 minutes, just this one guy looking at my passport, until eventually he told me to go to the side, kept my passport and said, in like broken English, you stay here. Eventually this guard comes and the guy's got, I don't know what kind of gun, some automatic gun. And again, in broken English, he says to me, you come with me. So I go with him and he brings me into the border office building and brings me into this tiny room. There's about 3 meters by 3 meters, and there's just a table and a chair. He made me take all my bags off the bus, put all my bags on the table, and he starts looking through. And when I say he starts looking through my bags, he is going through everything. He's undoing socks. To give you an idea, he found a pocket in my bag that I didn't even know I had. And he pulled this waterproof cover for my bag, and he was like, what's this? I was like, mate, I've actually discovered this at the same time as you. He kept asking me all these questions. Where have you been? What are you doing? For what reason? How long? And then his mate came in and he just stares at me for a good minute. And eventually the guy says, so the second guy that just came in says, take off your shirt. So I take off my t-shirt. So I'm just, in jeans. Take your shoes off. I was like, okay, the floor was absolutely disgusting. It was wet. It just freaked me out. So I took my shoes off anyway. And at that point, I'm like, okay, this has got to end. He says, take off your socks. So now I'm barefoot. Give me your jeans. And I'm like, bro, come on. I'm in my underwear at this point. He's checking my pockets, all of that. At that point, I think the humiliation ritual has ended. I'm through. And the guy takes another long, hard look at me. And he's like, okay, underpants, ankles. I'm not going to argue with this guy. So drop my underwear. And this point he says, turn around. And in my head, I'm like, this could go really bad for me. So I turn around and I'm like, this has got to be the end of it. I'm butt naked with these 2 guys. They're checking all my bags. I've answered all their questions. And now they want to see me naked. And I hear a word that I really didn't want to hear and that I was not expecting to hear. But this guy says, squat. And I say, sorry? And he says, squat. So I do as I'm told. So I go for a squat. So I go down and then I go to stand back up. And he goes, no. Lower. And I'm like, what is this? Like an IPF competition or something? Why are you asking me to go lower? So I go lower. And I go to stand back up again the second time. He says, no, lower. So I literally go, ass to grass. And he says, okay, get dressed. Eventually, in my second bag, I had the icon of Mary and Jesus. And once they actually find that, obviously they had to take apart my whole other bag before getting to that one. And as soon as they see it, they realize, oh, this guy's actually Christian. They see that and they immediately turn like a switch flipped, super friendly, start cracking jokes with me, talking about my trip. Oh, where are you going? Oh, Belgrade, do this, do that, go see this. And I'm like, guys, you couldn't have just checked that bag first, so I didn't have to do the whole humiliation ritual. Now, I hope this hasn't scared anyone from actually going to Serbia. I thought Serbia was a great place. I just had a really rough start to the country. But I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram at Sammy_Hux with 2 X's. And I'll see you on my next trip.